Today, we're going to talk about toilets. We don't give them much thought, but toilets are a really important technology in our lives. Here is a standard toilet like the one you have in your home. Do you want to see how it works? This is the bowl. This is the tank with a lid. This is the piping where the clean water comes in. The water goes up through the piping into the tank. When you flush, the water moves down from the tank to the bowl and down a drain below the bowl. Let's take a closer look inside the tank. Here is the inside of the tank. I know the water looks brown and yucky, but it's actually clean water. Sometimes water has minerals in it and they stain the inside of the tank. But rest assured, this is clean water. It's also good to note that not every toilet has the exact same parts. Although I'm showing you this example, your toilet may look slightly different. This is the fill valve. It's attached to a float that floats on top of the water. This is the flush valve. At the bottom, there's a rubber flapper. This is the handle. You see how the handle is attached on the inside to this arm. When you flush and push down on the handle, it raises the arm up. As a result, the flapper on the bottom opens up. Until this point, the flapper has created a seal, trapping water in the tank. Once you flush, the flapper opens, allowing the water to move down from the tank to the bowl through the open hole. As the water is draining from the tank, the flapper slowly closes due to gravity. Once closed, the flapper creates a seal again. So I'm going to flush the toilet and let you get a closer look. I'm going to push down on the handle, which has raised the arm. The flapper opens, then shuts due to gravity. Because the flapper is closed, water can refill the tank. The float sits or floats on top of the water. When you flush, the water in the tank goes down as the water leaves the tank. As a result, the float also goes down. When the float is at a certain low level, the fill valve turns on, which allows water to refill the tank from the water supply piping. The water fills the tank until the float reaches a designated height and the valve turns off. The water will sit in the tank until the next flush because the flapper has created a tight seal. So I'm going to flush the toilet and let you get a closer look. When you flush, the water in the tank quickly goes down. The float also goes down. The fill valve turns on and water is beginning to refill the tank. As a result, the water in the tank is slowly rising. The float on top of the water will also rise. Did you know that sometimes toilets leak? Where do you think the water leaks from? Sometimes the leak is from a loose connection of the outer parts of the toilet, or from the piping going into or out of the toilet. But more commonly, the water leaks from the tank into the bowl. Guess how many gallons of water can be wasted from a toilet leak each day? Over 200 gallons? Wow, that's a lot of water. It's definitely a good idea to check your toilet for a leak at least once a year. It's easy to find a leak when you can see the water on the floor, but sometimes you can't see or hear the leak. We call that a silent toilet leak. How do we find these silent toilet leaks? The easiest way is to use food coloring. First, let's take the tank lid off. Then we add 10 drops of food coloring to the water in the tank. Then we wait 20 minutes and don't flush the toilet during that time. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, so I'm going to take a look. Wow, there's food coloring in my bowl, even though I didn't flush the toilet. That means that water is escaping the tank and going down into the bowl. How can that happen? Remember the flapper? The most common reason a toilet can have a silent leak is because of the flapper. There should be a tight seal between the bottom of the flapper and the bottom of the tank. That seal often becomes less tight over time. This could happen just from normal wear and tear. Think of all the times in a day the toilet is flushed. Things can also build up on the flapper from stuff in the water, such as minerals. Or the flapper could lose its shape due to chemicals like chlorine in the water. So what's next after you find a leak? The first thing you should do is tell the adult you're living with. After that, there are several options, such as replacing the flapper, tightening the lever for the float, or replacing the toilet. A plumber can provide expert advice as well. What did we learn today? We learned the parts of the toilet and how a toilet works. We learned that toilet leaks can sometimes be easy to find, and sometimes they're silent. It's important to periodically investigate for silent toilet leaks, because a toilet could be wasting hundreds of gallons of water a day without us even realizing. An easy way to check for a silent toilet leak is by adding food coloring to the tank and seeing if the water in the bowl turns color. If it looks like there's a leak, the most common reason is the flapper not keeping a tight seal. Then we need to take steps to fix the leak. All right, are you ready to investigate whether your toilet has a leak? Thanks for watching, and good luck, leak detectives!